Okay. All right, Cassie. So, first things first is you came in for your trial. What did you think?
I really liked it, and Allison, my wife, has been coming here a while, and she knew I would, but she knew I like had a thing going when I was working out at home, but she knew when I came because I like the group setting workouts, so
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Okay. Awesome. What were some of the things that you noticed that were different between SGT and bootcamp that you liked?
Well, SGT is just, well, one, it's smaller, obviously, but two, it feels a little more kind of slow paced, so you can work on your a little, not slow paced, but like, you have more time with the instructor. Like, Leslie was able to help me with like some of my form on some of the things, and it just felt a lot more like, oh, this is really like strength weight class as opposed to boot camp, which feels like kind of a mix of cardio and strength.
For sure. So you like to lift?
I do, yeah.
You do.
I don't know if you can tell by how I look yet, but
I like to lift too. No, I get it. Okay.
It always feels good when I can like go up and get a little bit on something. So
Yeah.
I feel like you're making progress.
Increasing your strength, for sure. All right, so let me ask you, so I can kind of get a better idea. What are your goals? What do you want to achieve with this program?
Well, it started out with needing to lose weight. I was just gaining weight really quickly, and even now, still like, oh, we went to Indy for the weekend, and I kind of let myself splurge, and like, I gained 5 pounds just like that. Like, I gain weight really fast if I'm not watching like what I'm eating. So I've been really trying to work on eating better, which the app helps. The Weight Watchers app that I was using. So I'm still hoping to lose a little bit of, I don't know like what my ideal weight should be really for like my size or anything, but I do feel like my stomach is still a little, I used to lose a few more pounds there because that seems to be where I gain it.
Yeah.
And I want to build more muscle.
Okay. So is there any particular area that you want to build more muscle? Is it all over? Is it arms, legs?
Kind of all over, I think. Me and Allison always joke that we want like Linda Hamilton T2 arms, so that's kind of our go-to. And Lip Acid, and like what's Lip Acid do with it? It's like, I'll take those arms, please.
Awesome. Okay. So definitely arms. Anywhere else?
I think legs too. I've already been feeling it. We were just talking about it the other day. Like
Awesome.
stronger.
Okay. So you want to build muscle, and you want to continue to lose weight, and it sounds like you also want to increase your strength.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What is it about increasing your strength that appeals to you?
Just being able to do things easier. Like if I'm working on projects. Like I noticed the other day I went to like get the ladder out of the shed and like off the hook and brought it out, and I'm like, that felt much easier than I usually did.
Yeah.
And like that's just a nice feeling.
Increasing functional strength is nice. I've said many, many times to members that we are training for life.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Yeah.
Because life's hard and you need to be strong.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to kind of cover over your goals, we're looking at continue to lose weight, you want to build more muscle, arms and legs are a focus, and you want to increase your strength. Okay. So you mentioned that you have some at home. Okay. So tell me, what has been your experience, maybe struggle, maybe roadblock, maybe plateau that has you wanted to do this program instead of just continuing to do what you do at home?
I thought I had a good thing going, and I did. I was working out like every day I worked from home, so, but like some days it'd be like, oh, I didn't really feel like in the morning, oh, I could do it anytime later in the day, which I would, but then some days work would get busy and I wouldn't be able to or whatever, where like having a set class here, well, I gotta get up and go at this time because that's when the class is. And I feel like being in the group setting, it kind of pushes you because you see everyone around you working, and I feel like, oh, I'm trying to lift heavier weights here and push harder, like when I'm just in, my gym, in my basement. It's like, okay, I'm doing it, but like, I definitely feel like I push myself harder here.
Okay. So at home, sometimes life gets...
Yeah, or, not having to have that set schedule, and so kind of having like a set thing helps.
Yeah, for sure. I know that if I get out of my routine and I don't do the things that I typically do, like first thing in the morning, sometimes I don't get the rest of it.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're the most important thing. I do the thing that sets my day up for success. But like now, my schedule is totally flip-flop or different because kids are home from school.
Yeah.
So it's not like I used to get up and have a certain amount of time, get the kids up, breakfast, get them on the bus, take them to school, boom, then I would return to my regularly scheduled program and get back to work.
Yeah.
It's not like that anymore.
Yeah. I know, I'm like a creature of habit. If I get off my
too.
schedule, it messes it up.
Yes. Okay, so it helps to have like, okay, I need to be somewhere for this appointment
Yeah.
to get my workout in, get it done, and then, because you're actually separating yourself from the house.
Yeah, because if I'm there all day, it's like, I can just do it later. I'll sleep in an extra hour.
Yeah.
And
Work from home too.
yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Because there's always something that you could be doing.
Yeah.
Doing the laundry, doing the laundry, dishes on the sink, or all the things.
Yeah.
Okay. So working from home, having those things that where life gets in the way, and also being here, you're saying that being in that group setting, there is that air of competition maybe a little bit.
Yeah, but not that because I'm kind of competing against myself really, but it's good to see, oh, she's kind of my size and she's lifting a little heavier, like maybe I can do it too, that kind of thing.
And you're also not going to allow yourself to be a schlub and not work hard.
Yeah, and also I'm
Busting her ass,
yeah,
right?
but
Okay.
I'm not going to be like, I got you.
Yes. Okay. All right. So that helps me kind of understand where you want to achieve and kind of where you want to go. So with SGT right now, let's go check my phone there. I believe that we have one morning spot open, and that's what only works for you, right? Is AM.
Yeah, because I'm like 10 to 10 by the time working, so.
And I think that spot is on Mondays.
It's Mondays.
So Monday mornings, one time a week is what we have available now.
Okay.
That could change throughout the summer or the next couple of months. If it does, would you be interested in doing more than one time?
I would be open to it. Like, I don't know the cost, if it probably changes by how many classes you do and stuff like that.
I just want to know, like, if, so we set the precedent now
Yeah.
that if it's possible, how many times you would want to train. If you had your pick, 1, 2, or 3 times a week, what would make sense for your schedule? If the calendar were open,
Right.
what would make sense for you?
I'd say probably 2, because I'm doing Monday through Saturday boot camp, and then even Monday when I did with you, I came in the morning and did boot camp, and then followed it, and so I feel like that'd probably be a lot for the week,
Yeah.
you know? Be
Okay.
good with 2.
Just to know, because like I said, right now we just have.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's go through where we're at with your in-body scan. Okay. So this body composition analysis is basically casting, like what makes you up. Okay, so right now we're at 75.2 pounds of total body water. Okay. Dry lean mass, we're at 27.3 pounds. So this is everything that would be your muscles, bones, tendons, joints, all that kind of thing. Okay. Then you have your body fat mass. Right now we're at 45.1 pounds, making your total weight being 147.6. Okay. What is your goal?
I
Where
don't
do
know.
you want to be?
I don't know. I kind of kept setting it like every 10 to 15 pounds, and then when I got kind of lower where I'm at now, I'm like, well, it'd be nice to get into the 130s, and then we'll see how I'm feeling, you know?
Sure.
I really don't know like what my ideal weight should be.
Okay. Well, according to the MRI scan, right now your ideal weight, if you were to lose body fat mass, okay, at 14.3 pounds, that would put you where you need to be in terms of our muscle fat analysis.
Okay.
Okay, so how this works is you're going to see that there's the down arrow, there's the dash, and there's the up arrow. The dash is the median. Like this is the golden zone. This is where you want to be.
Okay.
This would be under, and this would be over. Okay. So we're looking at our weight. We are almost in the golden zone almost there. Okay. Now getting into the golden zone, that's going to be goal number 1. Goal number 2 would be getting to the middle. That's where we want to live. Okay. Makes sense so far? Okay. Now our skeletal muscle mass, again, this is the poundage of muscle that we have on our body, our skeletal body. Right now, we're at 56.4, okay, and that puts us right in the middle of the goals, which is great.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're thinking, all right, awesome, this is where I want to be. Let me come back to that. When we look at our body fat mass, okay, we are just outside, above the golden zone. Okay. So as you can see right now, if you were to connect these points, we're making a C shape. Okay. Can you see that? Okay. What we want is we want a D shape. So what that means is we want your skeletal muscle mass to actually exceed the golden zone.
Okay.
We want your skeletal muscle mass to be out. So we essentially want your weight to go down. We want your body fat mass to go down. We want your skeletal muscle mass to increase.
Basically needs to flop from where it's at right now.
Right, absolutely. Now, if we were to have taken this scan a couple of months ago, this would have been an even larger scan. Right? Because your weight would have been further out here, your skeletal muscle mass would have been back here. Okay. So I say that just because we didn't do this in the beginning. If we did, you would already see the progress that you're currently making. So you are trending in the right direction. Okay. So the goal is that we just want to continue to see this increase, okay, which is perfect for SGT because that's the focus. The muscle mass, building muscle. Through boot camp and through SGT, you're going to continue to see this go down, and you're going to continue to see your body fat mass go down. Okay? Once we start to see those numbers move, that is going to then affect this number here, your BMI. Okay? Right now, you're on the cusp of being right where you need to be, right? So, I mean, with just a couple of tweaks, and you get into like the 23 range, you're in there, right? And that's great. So, also here your percent body fat. Okay, you want to also get this back down, which won't take much. Okay, so I don't want you to get discouraged by that this number isn't in the golden zone, this number isn't this much right on the cusp. I mean, you're right there. Okay. Just looking at you, I mean, you're a pretty lean person anyway. Right? So we don't have a whole lot of body fat to lose to get you into the golden zone. And I want to mention that too because if you are, let's say, 300 pounds and you will shoot for 250, you're going to lose that body fat pretty quickly in relative comparison to someone who is 140 pounds and they want to get down to 135. Right? So it's going to take a little bit longer because there's less there to work with. That makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like when I was at 180 and I started making the changes, like it started coming off quickly, and now that I feel like I've been hovering around 144, 148 for the past like few weeks.
Yeah, and so I don't want that to discourage you. That is just part of the process. Okay. So now we really need to just double down on consistency and just doing the things that you know you need to do on a consistent basis, day in and day out. Okay. Okay. So does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So when we're looking at this and this lean body mass here, when we lose this 14.3 pounds, that's going to put us right in the middle of the golden zone where we want to be in terms of weight. Okay. Now, if we don't get to 14.3 pounds and we're 10 pounds, we're still going to be in the golden zone. If we're at 8 pounds, we're still. It doesn't take much to get you in here.
Yeah.
Okay. This is perfect world scenario. Okay. Awesome if we get there. Still awesome if we get close.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And I was kind of thinking like, oh, 130 would probably, and that kind of puts me closer around there. So.
And here's the thing too, like this is off of like equations, right? But it can't take into account your chemistry, right? So you at 130, even though it says so on paper, may not be like your happy place. Like, you might get down that, you might feel like, my energy's down, I don't feel like I have enough muscle, like I just don't feel good at this weight. Totally fine. If 135, 140 is more like, man, I feel awesome right now. This is where I want to be. Great. That's really to go with how you feel. Now we're with this.
What the number is.
Right. So this is just a construct to work inside of. So I want to be clear about that. We don't want to be chasing this number.
Yeah.
It's not a healthy number for you.
Okay.
Okay?
That makes sense.
Cool. Okay. Any questions on the in-body?
No.
All right, now, as you continue with the program at SGT, every 4 weeks, you'll be doing the in-body scan. And be going over your progress. And what's really cool about this is it's going to track your points here. So every time you come in, you're going to have 3 new points. And then eventually it's going to chart a graph for you. Okay? You can actually visually see how you're doing. Which lends itself to, okay, well, I'm not doing so well in this area. I need to make a change here. Or I'm really killing here, keep up the other. Okay. Any questions on anything else? Anything there that anything I need to cover?
The only thing that I like to cover is, I don't remember exactly what it's called, of course I don't have my glasses on. Where is, what is the name of where it puts the calories? Sometimes
Yes.
people get kind of caught up that, is that what I should eat or do I need to be under? And I always like to go over that.
Great question. Okay, so here, this shows you your basal metabolic rate. Okay, so this says that you need to have 1,375 calories to survive.
Okay.
Okay, this is your base of what you need just for your brain to function, for your heart to pump, and for you to be able to move. Okay, so this is the absolute bare minimum caloric intake that you need to take in every day. You have any idea how many calories you're eating right now?
I don't know because I've just been using like the point system, the Weight Watchers app,
Okay.
so I don't know calorie wise.
Okay. So what's super important is that we are ingesting enough calories to support the activity that you're doing. Okay. So what happens with like Nutrisystem and Weight Watchers and things of that nature is they do a great job on the nutrition side in terms of putting you in a calorie deficit. But I don't know if they've changed or not, but they don't really take into account your activity. So if you are training 6 days a week, which you are currently doing right now, right?
Yes.
Okay. And now we're gonna also, let's just keep it there. If you're training 6 days a week and we're only eating 1,300 calories a day, that's no bueno. Because it won't. And what will eventually happen is your body's gonna be searching for fuel. And once it burns through the minimal calories that you put in, it's going to go to its fat sources, it's going to burn through that, and then what's left is muscle. So it's going to start to feed on your muscle fibers. That's what we do now. We want to increase your muscle mass. Okay? So we have to be able to put in enough calories to support your activity. Okay? So what I like to say is if your caloric input is here, okay, but your caloric expenditure is way up here, this is great for weight loss, but we want also lean muscle gain, okay? So if we're only putting in this amount of calories, but we're expending this amount, the body is gonna say, hey, I need to make up this difference somehow. So it's gonna be searching for the type of fuel it can use to match this. So what we actually need to do is we need to increase your caloric intake, okay? Still keeping you at a caloric deficit, because that's how we lose weight. But now, your body's saying, okay, I have enough fuel here to make up this difference, so I'm not gonna be eating the muscle. I'm gonna be eating the energy that you put in it, AKA the food. Okay, does that make sense? Because most people think, well, I'll just eat less and I'll lose weight. Well, yes, you will lose weight, but you will also lose muscle as well. And eventually you keep on that, you're also gonna lose bone density. Now we're in a whole nother ball. You don't wanna do that, right? So you wanna be increasing your muscle strength, you wanna be increasing your bone density, you wanna be increasing the calories that you take in to support that activity.
And that was part of the problem before I started using the Weight Watcher app. I didn't really know like how many calories a day I should be eating. And like I'm trying to like Google, or I went to like Franciscan Omni Gym for a couple of years, and I did like a small group training there, and I just felt like I was always getting like different information. So I didn't know what was accurate.
So we can definitely create a program for you that will be specific to what you need, and will give you one source of information to follow. Okay? All right. Well, let's talk about just to be clear, any questions here? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Awesome. Let's talk about then the program itself, okay? And it's really cut down into 3 different phases. So phase 1, and this is in typically your first 30 days of the program, called our foundation phase. This is when we start to weight training here. You already exercise, right? Now we're going to be exercising SGT style. And just to be clear, when we come in for SGT, it is balls to the wall. Like it is, you need to be working as hard as you can. Our goal as the coach is to push you outside your comfort zone. I want to see the ugly face.
Max out.
Yes, we want you to be seeing that. We want to hear you swearing, cussing, whatever you need to do to get through the set, right? And then, as you saw, there are prescribed reps. And it's different. It's not time like this time. It's not like boot camp. So there's prescribed reps. So I always say, if you get done early, guess what? Do some more, because that's what we're here to do. We are here to push you. You should be having muscle failure at SGT. It's the one place in life where failure is good.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we want. Okay? So we want to change the way, change the way you exercise. Because yeah, you're right. When you're working out by yourself, you push yourself. But when you have somebody driving you, you're gonna work harder.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's the expectation. When you hit the door, like, game on. Okay? All right, so they're going to be talking about changing your eating habits, making sure that you are getting enough calories and you support your activity. We're going to be tracking these calories if you choose. Okay, we need to do tracking calories or tracking macros. So we'll introduce you to the Fit Body Nutrition app. Okay? You don't have to use it. If you choose to use your Weight Watchers app and that works better for you, fine.
I'd like to try this just to see if it, like, you know.
We just need to make sure whatever you use works for you. Okay, because there's a million different things out there, and they'll all probably give you some success, but unless it fits into your lifestyle and you will use it, there's no point.
Yeah.
Right?
I think the macros, I know that's what Allison does, so if we're kind of both tracking the same way, that might make it easier.
Yeah, and that'll be the beauty of the synergy of having the two of you doing the same thing. I mean, if you're doing one thing and she's doing another.
Because she could eat something, but then I'd scan it and it was like, oh, 10 points, and I get like 23 for the day. So I'm like, I'm not eating that.
Right. So if you guys can be on the same track, that'll just really boost both of your success. Then we want to make sure that we're optimizing sleep. And this is something that we'll talk about these things more in what's called your blueprint meeting.
Okay.
So that's a secondary meeting that we'll have after we go through all of this and we say, yep, we want to do the program. We'll sit down and do a blueprint meeting where we actually will lay out your program.
Okay.
So also in this first foundational things, we're talking about increasing your water intake, which I need to do because my mouth is very dry right now.
We've been trying to do that.
And
so
then
some days are better than others.
we'll talk about supplementation too. That's something that we need. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back to this, and I want you to reframe the sentence you just said, and you're going to say that we're doing our best to get our water in, because if we're trying to do it, then it's not happening.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Going into phase number 2. Okay. This is pretty much after your first 30 days. Moving into phase number 2. We're starting to see some fat loss. We're starting to see some inches loss as well. We're starting to see some gain in muscle. And we're really now focusing on creating great lifting form. Okay. Here, you're going to be learning it. By the time you get here, it should be secondary. Okay. And what I mean by that is, yes, we're going to go through the demo every time, but it should get to the point to where you're like, I know how to do that. That's awesome. Okay, so you know once you get into the workout, like you know what the form is. Okay, so even though there is a coach, we still expect there to be a little bit of self-regulation and self-accountability to know that if you need to stop or take a break to fix your form, you do that. Okay, because there's no point in doing an exercise unless you're doing it properly.
Right.
Okay. We're going to see improvement in your flexibility and increased energy. Okay, and because of these things, you're going to boost in confidence. You're going to feel better about yourself because you're making that progress. And when you start to see those gains, when you start to get those Terminator arms, you'll be like, it's tank top season. Let's go. Right? Okay. Now, we go from phase 2 into phase 3, and now we're incorporating all these things into just a regular, everyday life. lifestyle. This is now your identity, right? It's not something that you're thinking about, it's something that you do, okay? And that will then build into long-term habits where you will maintain results, okay? And this is key, maintaining results with less external accountability, because again, this is now who Cassie is. This is who Cassie identifies as. This is just what she does. Like there is no, I didn't get my workout in today because X, Y, and Z happened. Like you get it in no matter what, okay? And then of course, we continue to see more fat loss, but again, for you, it's gonna be less aggressive, okay? And that's probably even here in the beginning, it's gonna be less aggressive fat loss than you saw before because you don't have that much more to lose.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, how our programs run is we have a 1 time a week, a 2 times a week, and a 3 times a week. Okay. Currently, we have just the 1 time a week that is open. Okay. Now, what we want to do is we always like to save our family money if we can. Okay. You already have Allison in the program. So what we want to do is give you guys like a sweetheart deal, if you will. Okay. Typically, this is $67 a week, $87 a week, and $107 a week.
Okay.
But we're realizing that we're pulling from the same pool of money.
Yeah.
So we don't want to like gouge you guys, we want to make it doable for you.
Mm-hmm.
So what we were going to do is for 1 time a week, we would do 50 a week. Eventually, if it happens and we were to do 2 times a week, it would be 70. And then 3 times a week would be 90.
Okay.
Okay? Now what this covers is everything. So this includes your boot camp and your SGT program.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right, cool.
And I get that
I
reaction.
know, I thought it was on top.
Yes.
I was waiting for that.
I get that
But I'm like,
reaction
I'll do it.
every time. I get the reaction every time. No, so this is for everything, right?
Okay.
It's not on top of what you already pay. So
Okay.
essentially, if you choose to do the program, your current membership would end and your new membership would start.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I want to make sure that's crystal clear.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, that being said, is that what you'd like to get started with?
Yeah, we'll start with the, well, that's all that's available anyway. So yeah,
Okay.
we'll do, so I would do Monday, like I can only come on Mondays, right?
Right.
Okay.
Correct. So that'd be Monday morning, Monday AM. Okay. All right. Awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the agreement, which
Are they in the regular boot camp folder or their own?
that is a great question.
Because the regular boot camp folder is up there, but I don't.
I'll be honest.
We're gonna get moved.
Okay. I think we're pretty good there. We're good there?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll stop that